Moving to a new country is one of the biggest decisions anyone can ever make. Whether you are coming for work, business, or new opportunities, being well informed will save you from a lot of unnecessary surprises. Today, let's talk about crucial things you must know before coming to Qatar. Things that, quite frankly, your agent won't tell you. Because your agents, they are there to do business. There are a lot of information that they won't give you that you'll come to get once you arrive in Qatar. And before we begin this, I felt something inside my heart and I just want to communicate the way it is. And this one, it goes to young people, the young population that we have right now. If you're a youth, pay close attention to what I'm about to say and make sure you don't forget it as long as you are alive. That thing you call your hometown, your home city, your home village, move outside of it before it kills your dreams, your potential, or even your life. Because even in the Bible, when God called Abraham, he told Abraham, go to the land that I will show you. That statement by itself, it has a meaning. There must be a reason. And the reason to why is because it's really very hard to succeed in the home city, in the hometown, or in the home village where you are being born. Being in the environment where you are born, quite frankly, you will have the same mindset, the same ideologies like those of the people who are surrounding you. Please, if you are a young person, make up your mind to move outside of your hometown, the hometown that has created a wrong mindset. And immediately you get outside of the hometown, begin to work on yourself. For instance, you come to find there is someone who is born in one hometown. He go to primary school in the same town. He go to high school in the same town. And by privilege, he marries from the next town or the next community. This person will be limited on how he perceives things, on how he sees the world, compared to a person who have traveled the world, who have met different people from different socio-economical background. They are going to have a different way of how they see life. Make up your mind to move outside of that hometown. And also to those people by privilege who have gotten an opportunity to travel the world. Some are in the US, some are in the UK, some are in Gulf, some are in any other countries. We have Kenyans everywhere. Also, I will give you a reminder. Being far from your home territory doesn't give you immunity against the negative limitation of your home territory. No. When you are physical unavailable from your hometown territory or from the jurisdiction that created a certain perception in your mind, that one doesn't mean you are being relieved from the negative limitations of that territory. Until you work on yourself, until you get transformed, that is when you will get a relief from the past ideologies, the past perceptions that were being taught to you. Mindset is higher above than your physical reality. It will begin to compel your behavior to rhyme where your mindset has gone. In simple words, the body only goes to where the mind has gone. You need to think greatly big so that your physical reality will move, will be compelled to the level of your thinking. You must press to be transformed. Because I came to realize there are some people who have traveled the world, but once you hang out with them and listen to the way they talk, you just fold your arms and be like, you mean you've been around the world? Because they got the privilege to be around the world, all that they have is the selfies and pictures. They will show you pictures while they were in the US, they will show you pictures while in the UK, but this one didn't help their mindset. They went to all of these places, but refused to be transformed. They refused to be trained. They refused to connect with people. They refused to learn new things. These are the people you come to find. I was born like that. They don't want to try new things. They don't want to connect with people. They don't want to speak with people. They create their own community, isolate themselves, and they have a limited mindset. You shouldn't do that way. You shouldn't live that way. Have a growth mindset. Connect with as many people as possible. Let me tell you something. Once I arrived in Qatar, I was 1 month old in Qatar. I didn't have even the ID in that time. But next time I'm outside, after the quarantine, immediately I'm meeting people, I'm talking with people very articulately and smart, and I managed to make a lot of friends. I joined many communities. I started volunteering. I volunteered for the World Cup, made a lot of friends during the World Cup, and also during some other events, of which it's because of having a growth mindset. Be open-minded to receive from other people, so that once you get back to your village, once you get back to your community, once you get back to your hometown or your home city, you become a vessel of transformation. You take the information that you have and you transform other people. Without that being said, let's get right into it. 7 things you must know before traveling to Qatar. Insight number 1 is the climate. This is the reality that hits a lot of the newcomers. Qatar is a desert country, meaning temperatures can go beyond 45 degrees Celsius. And most people, they are not used to that temperature, so you need to pack precisely. Prioritize light, breathable clothing for the summer. However, don't be deceived. Qatar also has winter. And my friend, it's really very cold than you can think or imagine. It gets surprisingly cold in between December, January and February. It's really very cold. So during that period also you need to have heavy jackets and sweaters so that you can maneuver that situation. So when packing, bring a few warm jackets and sweaters to balance both extremes. There is an old saying that says, once you go to Rome, behave like the Romans. And also, once you come to Qatar, just adapt with the climate. Insight number 2 is accommodation. This is the most misunderstood aspect for those who are coming to work in Qatar, mostly the first timers, because your agent won't tell you anything about your accommodation where you're coming to stay. And this one is really very necessary for you to understand before coming. You better understand where you're going to stay. Generally, we have 2 main types of accommodation for workers, of which number 1 is labor camps. Labor camps, they are large housing units which are similar to dormitories and hostels, right? While you're in high school or while you're in campus, you maybe once and a while you stayed in a hostel, you understand what I mean. So it's the same setup. You will share accommodation with some of other workers. It has a setup, it has a shared bathroom, shared kitchen, and sometimes a common recreational areas. At another type, number 2, is apartments. Apartments, you come to find they are a little bit precise and modern and even comfortable, but still they are shared. You'll share their accommodation with some of the co-workers. It depends with the company's policy. Okay, like for me, I don't stay in my company premises, I stay outside. So if you are staying outside but you are under the company contract, they will give you what we call the housing allowance. Okay, so if you are coming as a freelancer, you are going to have a responsibility of paying your rent, of which it can be very expensive depending on the place where you are staying. Areas like industrial area, Al Wakra, Al Rayyan might be a little bit affordable compared to areas like West Bay, the Pearl, Lusail. They are very premium and very costful. For the house rent, A normal house rent for a bachelor or a single person, we call it studio, which is popularly known as bedsitter back in Kenya. So this bedsitter over here, it costs in between 2,000 to 3,000 Qatar Rial, of which is relatively something around 70,000 to 80,000 Kenyan shillings. Yeah, the house, it may be furnitured or it might not be furnitured. So that is the cost. If you are a freelancer, you'll have the responsibility to pay your house rent. Insight number 3, we have airtime and data. I understand. Once you get to Qatar, your family, they will need to check up on you if you arrived safely, and somehow you'll need a data so that you can keep on having the communication with them. So in Qatar, we have two main telecom providers, which are called Oredo and Vodafone. Both offer excellent coverage, but data and airtime can be relatively expensive compared to what we always get in Kenya or any other African country. For example, a minimum prepaid recharge, it starts from 10 Qatar Rial, which is roughly 350 Kenyan shillings, if I'm not wrong. And this recharge can last for 3 to 5 minutes if you are doing direct calls. So for you to save yourself from wasting money on this recharge or on this data, what you need to do is to connect to Wi-Fi's. Okay, there are accommodations and workplaces, most of them, they have free Wi-Fi's, so connect on Wi-Fi's, they will save you a lot. Also leverage applications like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal for video calls. They will help you a lot so that you don't spend a lot of money on direct calling. Insight number 4 is transportation. This one is also a very significant thing that we should talk about, of which your agent won't tell you. If you are employed under a company contract, your company will provide you with transportation from your accommodation to your working place, and also from your working place to your accommodation. But if your company doesn't offer transportation services, they will give you transportation allowance. Okay, and if you are a freelancer, you need also to pay for your transport to your working place. We have a local taxi known as Karwa, or also you can use metro. Metro is the train, of which is quite affordable. It's really very affordable, a great option for freelancers. You really need to take a taxi or Uber, of which they can be a little bit expensive. Okay, issue number 5 is all about the food. If you are being used of your home food and it happened you came over here, you're in the company premises, they don't allow you to cook. Maybe it depends on the company policy. You might struggle fitting in with the food that we have over here, of which their dominant staple food is rice. You're going to eat rice as much as you can, and you're going to love it. You understand, most of the Luya people, is a tribe from Kenya, they find it hard to eat rice for dinner. So you have to know these things so that you can arrange precisely, and you can arrange really very importantly so that you don't struggle. Also, you'll come to find international fast food chains like KFC and McDonald's. They are over here, but also you need to learn the skills to cook. Some of us who never knew to cook, right now we know how to cook very well, because buying food each and every day, it will be very expensive for you. So learning simple way of cooking, it will save you a lot. Number 6, insight number 6 is freedom of worship. I know this one is really very important to talk about. Qatar is an Islamic country, but it fully respects the freedom of worship for all people in the jurisdiction of Qatar. You'll find Christian churches, that one I mean SDA, Catholic, Protestant, and any other kind of denomination. They are available in Qatar. There is a designated place for worship where you can find all different types of churches. You will find Hindu temples, which they are a little bit limited for the Indians. You can find Buddhist centers, you can find mosques, and so on and so on. The national day of rest in Qatar is Friday, not Sunday like most of the countries in Africa or from the US. Most companies, most government institutions, they do close on Fridays. So Friday for us is a national day for rest. Most schools, most institutions, and any government premises, most companies, they take off on Fridays. Well, you have to be aware of these things so that you don't find it hard to get along, because Sunday for us is a normal working day. Number 7 is dating and relationships. I know this is what most of the people are looking for. You can see it on TikTok, partners having great time in Doha or in Qatar. So what I will tell you is, yes, relationships are possible in Qatar, but the dynamics are highly conservative. Public display of affection is frowned upon. Cohabiting without marriage is against the law. Dating happens, but it's private and discreet. If you are looking for love, you will find it. You'll find different people from different countries. Yeah, you will speak your ideas, you'll speak your feelings, and if you end up to find someone who loves you genuinely, or find a partner over here, it's possible. There is a legal way of doing it. You can also do your wedding in Qatar. So those are the basic things that you need to know before coming to Qatar, for you to have a peaceful stay while you are working, while you are studying, or while you are doing anything that brought you in this land. So we'll end up with giving you the difference between a freelancer and a contract worker, because I understand there's some people who want to come over here but they're being confused, or I don't need to advise you on this one. You will make up your own decision. I'll just give you the general differences between the two. In a contract worker is a company sponsored worker. You come over here under the sponsorship of your company. So your accommodation will be provided by your company, by your sponsor, of which will be free. If it's not free, they will give you the accommodation allowance. Number 2 is transportation. If you are under the company contract, they will provide you free transportation to your work and back to your home. Also, they will give you medical coverage. They will give you a medical insurance. But for a freelancer, you have to pay for your medical coverage, for your medical insurance when you are sick. You have to pay for your transportation when you want to get to work and back. You have to pay for your accommodation, of which it might be a little bit expensive. For the company sponsored person, your job is stable, it's under contract, so your job is secured unless your contract is terminated, unlike the other part of freelancers whose their jobs, they are not stable. Today they have a job, tomorrow they don't. So final thought: prepare, adapt, and thrive. Thank you for watching this video, and if it has given you value, consider sharing with your friends who plans to come to Qatar. Hope I see you soon in Qatar. It's all love. I love you guys. Inshallah. Bye bye.